Started. So my name is Lindsey Isham, and I'm coming to you from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Literally 2 minutes ago, just got in from the football field because I am basically mom on call, aka Uber on call. I have two boys playing football. They are 13 and 11. I have a sweet little girl who's 9, and today was her first day of school as well. So it is crazy busy around here, but I would not trade it for the world because where I found myself 7 years ago was staying at home with them. I had started homeschooling, and I found that I was really sick and tired of saying no all the time because we were on such a strict budget. However, I was really, really thankful to be at home. All I ever wanted to do was be a mom. And I truly thought that there was no way that you could have the best of both worlds. I thought you either had to pick your career or stay at home. And so I chose to stay at home. And thankfully, after, like I said, 6 years of being a mom, a friend of a friend actually shared with me about the Road and Fields opportunity. And I am so grateful that she did because my life now looks completely different than it did 7 years ago. I thought I was going to have to go back into teaching and get another job once my kids went to school. And thankfully, I am now, let's see, my oldest is in 8th grade. So I've been homeschooling for 9 years now. And it is truly the joy of my life, also very difficult, but wonderful. And I'm so grateful to have the opportunity, really just the choice to be able to say yes more to my family. And that is what Road and Fields has done for me. So I want to share just very briefly about Road and Fields and not assume that all of you know what in the world Road and Fields is or who we are, because I know when I was first presented with this business, I had no clue, not a single clue. So just to let you know, these are the same doctors that created Proactive back in the 90s. They are practicing dermatologists now, Stanford trained, actually the #1 dermatologist in the United States. And so obviously they knew a little thing about teenage acne, AKA it went billion-dollar brand. It was in every country in the world. And they could have literally ridden off into the sunset, quit, retired, chalked it up like, hey, we did it. But instead, they're passionate women who really and truly want to help people with their skin. And they realized because they were still in the office seeing patients as dermatologists, when Proactive even was going on, they said, you know what? There are more things that happen to people's skin than just teenage acne. I bet we could come up with a brand that could not cure, but could help all the different skincare problems that people have. And they also knew that, you know what, they wanted to really be able to bring dermatology to the masses because the average person was not paying the $50 copay, making the appointment, and actually going in to see a dermatologist. So they decided to create this legacy brand, AKA Rodan and Fields. It's Katie Rodan and Kathy Fields. And so they actually launched this into high-end department stores. We were partnered up with Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, Lord & Taylor, all of the huge brands department stores at the time, and it was doing incredibly well. We were the #1, our reverse regimen was the #1 seller behind the counter, and they got the bright idea, thankfully, that they would, instead of keeping it behind the counter like most high-end skincare companies were, they would bring it out from behind the counter, and they would allow people like myself and Marissa and the person that invited you to learn more about this business to be able to share. Because what we know, y'all, is word of mouth spreads quickly when you fall in love with something, right? So as the women were washing their face, they were going home and telling their best friends and their daughters and their mothers and everyone that they worked with. And so it was word of mouth that was spreading this business instead of actually the people behind the counter. So thankfully, our doctors foresaw and really knew that, yes, it was risky to pull out from behind the department stores, but they wanted to take the chance. And luckily, right about that same time, Mark Zuckerberg had a brilliant idea called Facebook social media. And before we knew it, everything started taking off. Social selling is what we do. It is the way of the world now. Retail stores are closing, but social selling and e-commerce commerce is booming. And therefore, the last 5 years in a row, we've actually been named the #1 skincare company. So Rodan & Fields in general has been around for 15 years, which is incredible because most billion-dollar brands take 20, 30, 40 years to become that billion-dollar brand. But because our products work, we have a 60-day money-back guarantee that we get to stand behind. And because they put it in people's hands like us, and we get to passionately share it with those that we love and those that we want to help take care of, that is how our business has grown. And so I am so grateful, like I said, for the opportunity to be able to have my own business, to literally be able to partner with these incredible, smart doctors who really knew that there was more to be said about their skincare journey. And so I'm going to pass it over to Marissa, let her tell a little bit more about her story and why Rodan & Fields is different than any other direct sales company you have ever seen.
Yes. Hi, guys. My name is Marissa Conley. I am a wife, a dog mama, and originally from West Virginia. So I started my Rodan & Fields business 2 years ago. And at that time, I was working full time in a COVID ICU. And my husband looked at me and he said, "Do you want to sell our house and buy a camper and travel?" And I said, "Heck yes, I love to travel. Let's do it." But I knew I needed something to still help financially contribute while we were on the road. And so I really wasn't using a ton of the products, you guys. I didn't have amazing results. I wasn't really in love with them yet, but I knew that I needed something. And so I jumped in and I started my business. And so thanks to Rodan & Fields, I do not have to go back to nursing right now. And I am ever so grateful for that. So yes, sharing a little bit about why Rodan & Fields is different from other direct selling companies. So like Lindsay mentioned, we are created by two world-renowned dermatologists. So not only that, again, she said, we are the #1 premium skincare brand. So our doctors know skin and they know skincare. So excuse me, you don't have to know everything about skincare. You can have the confidence that we are created by dermatologists and we are the #1 premium skincare brand. Not only that, because we are skincare, these products are consumable. So what that means is you use them and they get washed down the drain. So this isn't something that you can use and then reuse and reuse and reuse again. So your customers are going to come back to you because they're going to want more of their products that they're in love with. And so your business is just going to continue. Another thing to take note of, like Lindsay mentioned, we were in those department stores at first. So we weren't created for this direct selling route. Our doctors just knew this was a smart decision. And again, just to give us that opportunity, women like you and me, to step into entrepreneurship, to have something of our own, to be our own bosses. And like Lindsay said, we are both just so grateful for that. So another thing that sets Rodan & Fields apart, have you ever started a new job and you just had absolutely no idea what to do, how to do it? You knew nothing. So Rodan & Fields has systems in place for you so that you know exactly what to do every single step of the way. So you are never going to be alone in this business. We have all of the tools, the resources, training, everything right at your fingertips. And not only that, your sponsor, being the person that invited you here tonight, they're going to lock arms with you. So guide you every single step of the way and show you everything that you need to do step by step. So you are never alone in this business, and we have resources aplenty.
Yes, absolutely. They are everywhere. And the community is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm sure maybe you're like me, because at this point in the conversation, when I had it with my good friend Jen, I was like, okay, this all sounds amazing, but like, what is the catch? Like, there seems to be some kind of fine line here. Like, where is it? And the truth is, there isn't. You can literally try this business for 60 days. If you don't like it, you get to send everything back and get all of your money back. And when I heard that, it literally blew my mind. But I will be very honest with you. I had some hesitations. And so Marissa and I just really wanted to speak very openly and authentically about some things that may be going through your head, because we know we had the very same thoughts. And my very first one was, I mean, I know nothing about skincare, y'all. At the time, I'm about to be 40 this year. So 8 years ago, I was 32, about to be 33, was not washing my face. Okay. Maybe if I did, it was the same bar of soap that I was washing my hiney with in the shower, y'all. Like it did not count as skincare. And so when Jen talked to me about this, I was like, I mean, I know nothing. Like obviously I'd heard the word moisturizer before, but other than that, knew nothing. And I am happy to report that obviously these doctors know a little bit about skincare. So if you can be coachable and literally listen to a few trainings, AKA know that they have everything before you, not only that, on your website, like literally as soon as you press go, I'm a consultant, on your website, there is something called a solutions tool. And I live and breathe by this because it's literally as if you're sitting in the doctor's office with the doctors and they're asking questions about your skin. One thing I love about our company is that we are not one size fits all. We understand that it's not one product or even one ingredient or one serum that's going to help everyone's skin type. So we give you a personalized skin solutions tool, and it's literally like a quiz. You take a selfie, it gets to see your face, and it shows exactly which products are best for your skin. So it takes the guesswork out of it for you altogether. And so if you know nothing about skincare, number one, you're going to know you're going to be able to start washing your face, and you're going to learn a little something. You're going to learn that it feels amazing to take care of your skin. Number two, you're going to also learn that it is important to take care of your skin, and you don't want to feel like when you're in your 60s or 70s or even 50s or 40s that you're like, oh shoot, you know what? I should have really taken care of my skin before now. So you are literally going to be paid to wash your face and share with other people about how to wash their face. Okay, y'all, this is not rocket science. But I totally understand if you feel like, you know what, maybe skincare is not your thing. What I would say to you is if helping others and helping your family is your thing, then Rodan and Fields can totally be for you. Marissa, what were a few hesitations that you had when you were thinking about getting started?
Yeah, I'll have to narrow it down to just two because there were a lot. Because it was scary. But one of my biggest ones was not having the time to be able to grow a business, work a business. Because as I mentioned, I was working full time in a COVID ICU. Things were crazy. We were selling our house, buying this camper, transitioning into this whole different lifestyle. So I was worried about how am I even going to fit this in? And the reality is that it does not take hours on end to sit down and physically work this business. You can do this in pockets of time throughout your day. And so that's what I do. That's what I did, especially back then. And I still do that today when life gets crazy. And so whether that be 20 minutes at night instead of binge watching Netflix. I know women who work this business while they are sitting at their kids' soccer practice or waiting in the school pickup line. So just know it does not take a lot of time and a lot of hours every single day to work this business and to have it grow. So that was a big concern for me. And then the second one was, I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this now, I was so worried about what other people were going to think about me doing something like this. Like it almost held me back from saying yes. That was probably the biggest one, actually. Because I'm just a people pleaser. I'm going to admit it. I'm just a people pleaser. And so I was really worried about that. Like, I didn't want to be that girl. I didn't want people to judge me or, be like, oh, here she goes, like selling something on Facebook. Because the reality is it's not that at all. You're sharing this with others. But I was really worried about that. I was really worried about, what other people are going to think of me. And I think I just had to come to this realization one day that, you know what, these people are not paying my bills. And I want to paint that picture for you too, because if you feel that, those people are not paying your bills. They are not putting gas in your car. They are not putting groceries in your fridge. And so, like I said, I came to that realization that I needed this. I needed to have something to be able to have that extra income. And that was what mattered to me, not everyone else. So, yeah.
Yes, I totally agree. I actually had the very same fear and kind of bundled up together in that. It was like, what will people think of me? And what if I fail? Like, what if people actually watch me try this and then I absolutely fail? And at the end of the day, it was my sweet husband as we laid our head on the pillow and I had literally tossed back and forth. Like, we talked about it for several weeks and I was weighing out the pros and the cons. And I was like, but honey, what if I fail? Like, I feel like I won't even find like 2 customers. Literally, that was our conversation. And he's like, honey, like number one, I think you'll find more than 2 customers. Number 2, like if you do not try, you will fail because you never put yourself out there, right? And so he really kind of gave me the gentle nudge out of my comfort zone and said, you're going to have to try it, because what I'm going to say to you is that if you obviously showed up tonight for a reason, and you're here because you want something to change in your life. I don't know if that's more time flexibility, more finances. Hello, who could use extra income? A community of women, like the list goes on and on as far as what this business can do for you. But if nothing changes, nothing changes. All right. So yes, it is going to require you to like, push go, because that's what I did. But truthfully, the only way that you fail is if you never try. And like Marissa said, I also said to myself, listen, like, I mean, my immediate family didn't support me very well at the beginning. They're like, oh my gosh, Lindsey, like, are you really doing one of those Facebook things? Like, oh, how cute. And I was like, oh, really? And it honestly kind of fueled me a little bit. I was like, oh, you just watch. And so I pressed in. And again, just like I want to reiterate what Marissa said, I was working this 20 minutes during nap time. Like I had like an hour window and all my kids were quiet. If I was really lucky, like mom of more than one, you know how it goes, right? Like, please, the stars aligned today. Let me have everyone quiet for a moment. And so I was doing the dishes, all the cleaning, and my Rodin and Fields business within that nap time. And that is how I built it for the first several months, actually for the first several years, until I realized, you know what, thankfully my kids were getting older and I had a little bit more pockets of time. But it is more about consistency, and it is more about jumping out of your comfort zone and giving this a try. Obviously, you would not have been invited to hear more about this if the consultant who invited you didn't think that you would be awesome at it. Okay. And that's what Jen kept telling me. She's like, Lindsey, like, you're awesome. You love to help people. And, I think that you would really love it if you would just come and see. And so you might think, oh my gosh, these crazy Ready to Fields girls, it's like they drank some kind of Kool-Aid and all of a sudden they're all so excited about this thing. I'm like, yes, it's true. You will never understand until you're on the other side of that fear. But I do want to strongly urge you to realize that in just 2 short months, we have a huge product being released. Okay. Every single year at convention, which we're going to be in Vegas this year. And that is a huge, amazing, awesome girls weekend that you will get to put on your radar. And we are going to release a new product. And this product is going to be an industry disruptor. I know what it is. I have the honor of being one of the leaders in our company. And so they just told me this week exactly what it is. And I can tell you that this is bigger than like our biggest product ever, which was Lash Boost. It's also bigger than, I might even throw it in like a lot of the category of a lot of our products combined. Like it's going to be huge, trust me. So knowing that that is coming and knowing that there are about to be millions of people out there that and everyone in the world, even if you don't know them yet, that are going to be wanting this product. And so why not be in business with us, partner with us, so that you can be the one that shares this product within, not me. Don't let me share it with everybody. You can get in on this too. So Marissa, I have a question for you. What is the biggest advice that you have for someone who is considering this business very seriously?
Well, as you mentioned, I mean, obviously, if you're watching this, you are here for a reason because you are somewhat interested in Rodin and Fields and what this has to offer and what it can do for you. So, again, like I'm going to ask, why not? Why not? Whether it is you need an extra income, if you are stressing about the rising cost of groceries and gas, maybe you just retired and you're looking for a sense of community, like whatever the reason may be that brought you here tonight to take a closer look, ask yourself, why not? Why not have that belief in yourself to step out of your comfort zone for just a second and explore this and see what it can do for you? Like, why not have that belief in yourself too? So I really just want to take a minute to invite you guys to say yes to yourself and to your future. This is a turnkey business. So like Lindsey mentioned, your website, everything is right there ready for you to go as soon as you say yes. So that takes a few simple steps: looking at the product, seeing what you want to get started with, getting you enrolled, and then getting you your first paycheck right off the bat as soon as possible. So again, I just want to ask you guys, why not? Like, that is, I mean, I don't know if it's really advice, but I think it's a question that I ask myself, like, why not do this? Why not? So yeah.
I love it. Yes, like Marissa said, it is very simple, and we hope that we were able to answer some of your questions. If you have more, I want you to like really press into whatever those questions are and think to yourself, okay, this is what's holding me back right now. And I want you to say it out loud. I want you to say it to the person that invited you, say it to Marissa or I, like we are happy to chat with you one-on-one if that can be helpful for you. But at the end of the day, it is going to be, like I said, your very scared yes that truly could transform your life. So whether that's an extra $200 to $500 a month, y'all, that's what on average our new consultants are bringing in from the very first month. And then not only that, we have what's called a Fast Start Success Plan and a Fast Start Bonus Program. So literally it's like, you do this in the success plan, follow these instructions, and you can get up to $200 in bonuses for your first 4 months. So that's $800 in bonuses. All right. Now, I remember for me, I was like, okay, an extra $200 is life-changing for us because I was saying no to everything. As a single income family, like we had to sacrifice a lot. And so again, just like Marissa said, it is so true though. And all the conversations I'm having, even just tonight at football practice, one of the moms was talking about, man, it sure is getting a high gas bill just coming to and from practice every Tuesday, Thursday, and having games on Saturday. And I'm like, yeah, I know, right? So thankfully, I do not have to stress to the max every single month now because of this incredible business. So we do invite you to say yes. And we are so thankful that you tuned in and joined us. So again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And we hope you have a great night. Bye.